Welcome to Mainland, your local regional television station. I'm Graham O'Brien, and some of the stories coming up in today's news. Ladies basketball champs in town. Consultation process for Southern Link draws few. Extinct bird believed spotted live in Nelson region, and more. The Southern Link investigation community consultation got underway last Friday, April 1st at Stoke in the morning and Nelson Library in the afternoon. Unofficial figures say both sessions attracted about 40 people at each. The Nelson Library session was a quiet affair with a number of different officials from NZLTA and ACOM on hand to answer questions. Unfortunately, none of the informed professionals at the public consultations were allowed to talk to media. Chrissy Small went out and asked locals in Nelson their opinions on the Southern Link and if they went to any of the public consultations.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Southern Link proposal?
Sooner the better. Yeah,
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah, so you're really happy about it?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been to any of the consultation meetings about it?
No.
Have you heard about it?
Yes. Yeah.
No, but you feel quite happy with the process?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sooner the better.
Yeah.
Really moved to Nelson, so I don't know much about it, sorry.
Okay, have you found traffic a problem coming into the city or coming out of it?
Yeah, a little bit, but to be honest, I'm from Auckland, so it's not that bad down here as up there. But yeah, have noticed it, yeah, especially on Waimea, yeah, they're doing the works there, yeah, so that's causing quite a bit of congestion and that in the morning and during the day and evening. But yeah, because I heard the Southern Link, they were taking out the bike. That's correct? They're meant to be taking out the bike track? Yes. Yeah, which is because when I moved down, we were living at the Wood, and I'd regularly go up through that every day. Actually, do that loop up through there, the bike track and around to Hoona, and that was absolutely beautiful. So for that part, it's going to be a shame if that does go. Because I've really noticed moving down here the amount of people that ride bikes and push bikes, and it's actually a really friendly bicycle town. We've got this whole emissions thing. We want to keep people pedalling and walking and using buses, and then we go and remove part of that. Doesn't make sense.
The Southern
Link.
Very congested at times. Yeah.
Do you think Nelson roads are really congested? Would you say they're bad in the scheme of things?
I've lived here 10 years and I've noticed the congestion getting dramatically worse. From 10 years ago, it's really a lot worse. Takes 45 minutes to 55 minutes to get home at night now.
Right.
Yeah.
Sway into Nelson to get rid of congestion.
I was just through the Heafy track.
No, it's actually no, but that's a good idea. I'm sure there'd be many people that would be wanting that.
I think it will decongest traffic as well, because usually my husband complains about traffic when he's coming from work, so I think that will be a link. I think he will be using that road. I think that's all right. That's
Great.
nice. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. What's your opinion on the proposed Southern Link? You must have heard about this.
Oh, I don't think we need the Southern Link. I think what we need is to have alternative forms of transport and ways of going about things.
Right, like horse and cart, for example.
Maybe. Just maybe.
Okay.
But we can also have like light rail. We could have more people sharing cars and things like that.
Right.
And buses, more public transport.
No matter what the sport, it seems that Nelson is the place where people want to come and play, and last weekend it was the second round of the Women's Basketball Championships that were being hosted here in Nelson. I went along on Sunday to catch some of the action and spoke with Peter McNabb, General Manager of Basketball Nelson, about the championships and the home team, the Nelson Sparks. Pete, there are a lot of basketball girls down at the Sunday market this morning. They told me something was going on down here. Can you fill us in about what is actually going on?
Sure. Nelson won the rights to host the second of the Women's Basketball Championship rounds this year. They have 3 rounds. There's 2 qualifying rounds and then a playoff round in Porirua. So this has been 3 days, 10 teams ranging from Te Tai Tokerau in far north through to Otago women, and the Nelson Sparks have obviously been hosting the tournament this weekend. So.
And how's it been going for the Nelson Sparks from the last tournament?
We've had a bit of a change of chemistry as a couple of young girls have gone away to volleyball nationals, so they brought 2 new players in. And the team has been improving as we go, but yeah, it's been a bit of a tough ride for them this weekend.
I mean, it always is when you're bringing in new players, isn't it?
Yep, and I'll say the two girls that are absent were in the starting 5 and very talented players, but there's a lot of other young women have stepped up, so it's been a strong weekend for them, but they may end up in the bottom 5 in Porirua, but that's all right, we'll deal with that.
And you talk about 10 teams came here. Like, how many players in that with all the support people?
There's been each team comes with a roster of 12, and then players, coaches, supporters. There's been a strong turnout from Waitakere in the north, so we've probably hosted 250 players and supporters here through the weekend, which has been awesome. They've come in, they've stayed in the motels, they've supported the economy here, so probably spent a bit at KFC.
I spoke with Sparks opposition, Waitakere Lady Rangers head coach Ake Ho, who has also recently been picked as assistant coach for the New Zealand women's basketball team, the Tall Ferns. Ake, you're the head coach of Waitakere Rangers. How are you going? And you're up against the home team today. How are you going? How are you going in the competition?
Well, not too bad. We had a couple of losses in the first tournament, had a couple down here as well. But I think we're about 5th, heading into the last tournament in Porirua next month. Happy where we're at, kind of where we're aiming to be right now. So obviously playing Nelson, the home team, is going to be tough. I mean, it's a close game for the moment. So we've got to go back to work in a second and try to get the win against the home team, which is not going to be easy. Yeah.
The final score went to the visitors, 50-32, and at the top of the championship so far with 8 wins and 0 losses is Alloy Food, Canterbury Wildcats. Nelson Action Trust at 26 New Street in Nelson is at the front line when it comes to dealing with mental health issues. I spoke to Wendy Strawbridge about one of the initiatives currently being promoted. Wendy, you've got a talk coming up at the Richmond Library tomorrow. Can you tell us a bit more about that, please?
Yeah, sure. Hi, Graham. I work for Health Action Trust as a mental health promoter, and Richmond Library is running a health month about health and wellbeing. So I'm going to talk tomorrow about the 5 ways to wellbeing, which is actually from England. We borrowed it from the New Economics Foundation, and it's been in New Zealand since 2009. So tomorrow I'm just going to have a conversation about the 5 ways to wellbeing, about mental health and wellbeing, and what we can actively do to improve our health and wellbeing. It is actually quite simple. The 5 ways to wellbeing are a bit like 5 plus a day for the fruit and veggies. So you can have 1 a day or 5 a day depending on how well you want to be, and I will guarantee if applied it'll work.
Nice. And can you give us a little brief outline of what those wellbeings are, please?
Okay, so the 5 ways are to be active, and so that's active in some way every day, and to be connected, and that's connected with your community and feeling like you're participating, taking notice, that's of yourself and the way you feel and of your environment, and to keep learning, so that every day you just try something new in some way or look at something in a new way. What have I missed? Give. Give was the Mental Health Foundation's topic for last year in October, and the new one's yet to be announced. Giving's also really important. It's like not giving money, but giving of your time or your presence or just sharing as well. So all of those 5 are interconnected, and you can do 1 a day. If you consciously do it, you can build on your capacity even more. So if you come along tomorrow, I can tell you a lot more about it and how it would work for the individual as well as for workplaces.
A North Island visitor to Nelson over summer, Hamish Clark from Kerikeri, believes he, his wife and sister watched for 15 minutes a bird that they knew was unusual, as it was too big for a tui, while not a moorpork, a shag or a hawk, while they were on the Cable Bay walkway. They say they were a mere 8 metres from the bird, which was described as being a grey colour, and when it turned it had big orange wattles. Unfortunately, there is no photographic evidence of the bird's existence. Alex Milne, a Golden Bay hobby ornithologist, found out about the sighting through the Te Papa in Wellington. He contacted the Kerikeri local about his sighting and identified the bird as being a South Island kokako, which was classified as being extinct in 1967. It seems that this was now the second reported sighting of the bird species in Cable Bay within the last 2 weeks, according to Don Sullivan of the Marsden Valley Volunteer Pest Trapping Group and Nelson ornithologist Peter Gaze. Sullivan said that he knew of reported sightings of the birds at the Brook Waimarama Sanctuary. There had also been a growth in reported sightings over the recent summer season, including one in the Cobb Valley. Mr. Milne said that with at least 2 people reporting it, they can get this sighting accepted. The reclassification from extinct to data deficient meant Doc was certainly a lot more open now, and was responsive to requests to place cameras in the Cable Bay area. Any sightings have to meet the rigorous evidential standards of the Ornithological Society of New Zealand, a 5-person records appraisal committee to receive official verification. And finally, for followers of the God Zone Chapter 5 adventure race currently taking place in Nelson, Tasman region. The latest news is that Yealands is leading the teams in the event and spent the first part of Monday riding the rapids on the Mātakitaki River in Nelson Lakes. Yealands were the first team to whitewater paddle just after 6 a.m. Monday with good navigation skills, keeping the team well ahead of the closest rival, Sword Fox. The team had pushed very hard overnight on Sunday, trekking over the mole tops to arrive at the river Monday morning just as race organisers lifted the dark zone on the Mātakitaki River. They have held the lead position in the race for well over 24 hours since overtaking Team Sword Fox back on the difficult terrain of Red Hills during Stage 3. A day behind the leaders on Tuesday morning, a group of teams, including Cure for Kids, who is currently in at 23rd position, are following in the wake of the leaders and will embark on the difficult inflatable kayak part of the river after waiting for the dark zone to lift. The dark zone is where race organisers have kept competitors off the river for safety reasons until 7 a.m. the following morning due to the river conditions. Teams traversing the river have to leave the water around 6:30 p.m. and make camp until they can begin racing again in the daylight. Nathan Farvey was on the river with the Yealands team.
I've just been on the river with Team Yealands through the middle Mataki section. Now they're in good spirits. They're probably at least halfway through the paddle or more. They're going well. They had a few issues up in the Horus Terrace Rapid. They broke a paddle and one boat capsized, and Chris went for a swim, but they're all good. Said their dry bags came unattached as well, just with the force of the water. So yeah, a bit of a story from the rapid of the morning. They had 2 hours sleep last night in their tent, so they're feeling okay, but it's not a lot of rest. But their goal for today really is to get off the river, clear the river, the dark zone, and then if they've got the energy, they're going to try and push over Mount Owen tonight, get through there before darkness, and after that they want to have a big rest, possibly at Granity Pass Hut if everything goes their way, and then sort of push on. So they're probably one of 2 or possibly 3 teams that clear the river, so they're guaranteed a podium spot. But Sword Fox are racing really strong. They're not that far behind. They're on the river as well. So I think we can expect some pretty close and exciting racing. So Yealands are not too far away. Just downstream is the Grade 4 section, so they're kind of looking forward to that with a mixture of anticipation and excitement.
The rest of the field was stretched across some 150 kilometres from Lake Rotorua all the way back to the Richmond Ranges on Monday. Race director Warren Bates said on Monday that teams will really separate out as the middle teams race to make the short course cut-off at the Mātakitaki River on Wednesday at 7 a.m. Meanwhile, the Cure Kids team are racing consistently midfield. However, there have been a few changes to teams as the Red Hills trek to prove too much for some. Kelly Boyd from Team 10 Epic Endurance decided to retire when the team reached TA3, and the other 3 members opted to continue unranked. Team CPR Wanaka carried on without Mike Plimmer, who was taken by helicopter after injuring his knee on the Red Hills, but have since decided to pull out. Team member Darren Clay heard Team 10 were down a member and asked to join them to make up the 4. Back on the Red Hills, Team 38 Camel Toes contacted HQ asking for directions after spending more than 24 hours looking for checkpoint 10. They were directed back to TA2, where they will be picked up and taken by road to tackle the river as an unranked team. Team 48 Taranaki Beta testers made the decision to come down off the ridge and miss checkpoints 10 and 11, leaving them an unranked team. And Team 61 Geeks from South Korea are continuing unranked after getting road transport. It is unlikely they will tackle the rapids on the river, but are still having a great time on their first God Zone adventure. After the break, we'll bring you the latest weather update and some events and happenings coming up from around the region.
Why would you want to pay as much as $1,000 for a single bed mattress when you can buy a high quality locally made mattress like this for as little as $220? And a queen size mattress could cost you in excess of $3,000, but at Nelson Beds you could have a mattress like this as low as $425. So why would you go out and spend a fortune on your child's bedroom when you can come to Nelson Beds and buy a complete single mattress and base set, a 7-drawer Scotch chest, a headboard and a 3-drawer bedside cabinet for as little as $979? So call and discuss our custom manufacturing options and local after sales service at Nelson Beds, Nelson's only bedding manufacturer.
Welcome to Smugglers Pub and Cafe, open 7 days a week with free parking all day. Our lunch menus have that fat old-fashioned flavour where we treat you like treasure with the food you'll savour.
We cater for children, grannies and granddads too, with special rates and privileges given to the elderly lunchtime crew. Our staff are friendly and kind and want to see you all come back time after time.
Daytime or evening, it doesn't matter. Give us a call on 546 4084 and we'll be happy to spoil ya.
Hi there, Julian Toon, Waimea Telecommunications. We install and maintain domestic and commercial satellite TV, UHF Freeview and Mainland TV installations in the Nelson, Tasman regions. We specialise in Panasonic telephone systems and provide communications, Wi-Fi, IT and wiring for internet, fibre, computers and DSL systems. At Waimea Telecommunications, we also provide specialist electronic systems for features such as a security camera you can watch on your TV, visitor alert systems and much more. Improve your security and communication and entertainment today. Call us on Waimea Telecommunications on 021 472297, ytel.co.nz.
We're the team at JCar, right here in Nelson, 120 Hardy Street. Our shop is full of electronic items,
including security alarm systems, electronic components,
solar and power,
electronics toys,
sound systems, cables, and much, much more.
JCar. 120 Hardy Street, Nelson.
World War I was a defining period in our history, impacting greatly on the lives of people from the Nelson province. Memories of the First World War is an exhibition which will be displayed in a number of regional venues and is currently on at the Nelson Provincial Museum.
Sit and Be Fit is on at the Victory Community Centre Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. at the Victory Community Church, 238 Upper Vanguard Street. School terms only. Fun while you get fitter, work at your level. For more information, please contact Shirley on 547 1433 or 021 121 8023.
Victory 60 Plus is on Tuesdays at 1:30 through to 3:30 p.m. at 238 Upper Vanguard Street. You can join in for cards, games and a cuppa.
On behalf of the team here at Mainland Television News, thank you for joining us, and we'll bring you the latest news and events from around the region again tomorrow.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.